Satan always got to do his thing.
Prince of power.
Yeah, as soon as we was getting into the,
Like the elder said, as soon as we started to get into it, the very fabric of what's happening, the stream cut. Okay, so getting back to it, the brother Elder Barzal was bringing out a point about policy that's being implemented. Now, when you go back to the ancient Greek Empire, Antiochus Epiphanes with that pen issued out very strict and strenuous policies that was outside the norm. And it caused the Greek Empire to have to readjust to those policies. That's what's happening now in America. Now you have Sleepy Joe today passed an executive order, okay, to where they're going to implement a digital currency, okay, into Babylon the Great very soon. Not to mention sanctions upon Russia. Now the current sanctions that's upon Russia are we're no longer going to buy oil from you from the West, and we're not going to operate McDonald's, Starbucks, and
Xbox too.
And Apple and Xbox, if I'm not mistaken. McDonald's, Starbucks, Apple, and Xbox. They're going to prohibit any production out of Russia as if that's going to be a devastating blow. But the point that we want to make is that what America has done is they have found a supervillain. Okay? They have found an actual supervillain. Now they can truly implement the NWO under the guise of Russian threat. Now, I don't know if you brothers or sisters ever seen the movie Without Remorse with Michael B. Jordan, but I highly recommend you go watch that movie because it shows that America and Russia was performing special operation tactics, okay? But they was doing it themselves, but saying that it was the other party that was actually carrying it out, okay? So it's all a smokescreen.
Yeah. And if I may add, like, what's the 4 things you said that America's taking out of Russia?
Apple,
McDonald's, Starbucks, Apple, and Xbox.
And
Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft. So, and what's important about 4 of those major companies too is all of them work witchcraft, man.
Yes.
Because see, even Esau, outside of his GDP and federal budget, where he can export to these different countries, to somewhat cripple their economy and flatten their ties. America actually pushes a lot of they try to push their vibration on those different nations through that witchcraft, and this is not working, so they kind of pulling back, man. You see, and Esau is trying to regather himself. It's like his tentacles. Esau is gonna, pull himself back because he understands that witchcraft and that sorcery didn't work on the Russians, man. He doesn't have any. Well, it even says with their money, they shall not delight in gold nor silver. Yeah. That's not even going to work with Russia. Right. There's going to be a dividing line, and whether you can survive from your oil imports or your financial or agriculture, that's all you're going to be able to rely on these times, because there's going to be a third world war, and that's going to be the major cutoff of all these resources that we speaking of.
That's right. That's right. And this is the beginning of them transitioning into that. Okay, there's going to be higher gas prices in the near future. Okay, there's going to be higher food prices in the near future. A lot of your hours are going to get cut, and your hourly pay is going to get cut because production is going to be so costly because fuel prices are so high. Petroleum, the barrel of the petroleum is going to be so high that these different companies are not going to be able to run their facilities at the rate in which they used to run it because a barrel of oil is so high. And America is a petroleum-dominated country. Okay, everything is based on petroleum. I don't know if brothers found that list of items that use. Or see, everybody think that it's just oil and cars.
Right. There's a lot of other stuff.
Like pretty much everything we use, like in order to make boots, goggles, glasses, fucking everything used is petrol. Everything in America needs petroleum to in order to function. And once these gas prices skyrocket, these companies are not going to be able to produce at the rate in which they're used to producing, because America is based on consumerism.
Yeah.
Okay, you had that?
Yeah. It says items that use petroleum. Petroleum products include transportation fuels, fuel oils for heating and electricity generation,
Yep.
asphalt and that's the word. Asphalt and road oil.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
See, you need that asphalt. That's why it says that the worm shall overtake you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and feedstocks for making the chemicals, plastic.
Yep. Anything that's plastic based, anything that's plastic based, it needs petroleum in order to be generated. Go ahead.
Plastic is in everything.
It's in everything. Go ahead, bro.
And synthetic materials that are in nearly everything we use.
Literally,
Synthetic.
like literally, your shoes, your clothes, everything has petroleum or oil in it. And if the barrel skyrockets to the point to where it can't be produced or so like it can't be purchased at the same rate that these manufacturers purchase it at, that means that production is going to slow down. When production slows down, that means that the value of the dollar diminishes.
What?
The value of the dollar diminishes, that means inflation.
Well, really,
Hyperinflation.
Yeah, it's hyperinflation. Because right now really this inflation.
Yeah.
It's like everything is it's kind of up a little bit, but like the brother said, once things really kick off, it's gonna go into hyperinflation. Then we're gonna see them outrageous numbers like $20 a gallon and shit.
And that's gonna make people say, you know what, F it, I'm gonna get me an electric car. And that's what they want you to do.
That's what they want.
Just like people were saying, you know, F it, I'm tired of working in the South, let me move up north and go work in the factory.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted you to do.
Pull the rug from up under you.
That's exactly what they wanted you to do. Go ahead and integrate yourself into a digital world so we can impose our new plan.
That's right.
It's happening, baby. It's happening, man. And Sleepy Joe is breaking this thing down methodically.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have some more, bro?
Yeah. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, which is his mind. And what? Their mind goes through their counsel, you know. The scriptures speak about the crafty counsel. When they get together with these other nations, they have crafty counsel. When they get with their administration, you know.
And you know what's so heavy?
Counsel.
So I'm sorry, not to cut you off, bro.
Crafty counsel, that was it.
It's crazy because what the brother is reading about, this scripture really is speaking on Antiochus. Because when you read Daniel the 8th chapter, when it goes into the ram with the two horns, and it goes all the way to that point right there is talking about a horn that rolls out. That's talking about Antiochus, one of the four horns. That's talking about Antiochus. But what's so heavy is Apostle Tahar had mentioned in one of his videos that Joe Biden might actually be Antiochus in the reincarnation.
Yeah.
So, and he's doing exactly what Antiochus Epiphanes was doing through his policies. Antiochus was a master at the pen. He was a master at the pen, man. He would put shit into law. Okay? And that's what, every time you turn around, soon as President Sleepy Joe got in office, he passed 33 executive orders.
Yeah, he's a pen pusher.
He's a pen pusher. Then he get into the public eye and he acts senile and acts stupid.
Yeah.
That nigga ain't stupid, man. He has a very, very working, ticking brain.
Yep.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be in there.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Biden go way back.
Yeah, this dude is a top level witch.
Well,
warlock.
He was on that video with Apostle Howard. I always show the clip. He was like, "You will root on the Mark of the Beast."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when he was a lot younger
Back then.
Yep. So this guy has a very keen understanding of the New World Order. He has no problem initiating under his legislation and under his presidency. Okay? Was there some more on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost done. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
There you go.
And one thing that's going on in America right now too is they're opening back up a lot of the different cities. But wasn't it a crisis? They act like the crisis let up. It didn't let up. Their markets are getting suffocated, so they have to actually have people, you know, operate you know,
Yeah.
which is still a way that Esau is actually damaging his own system from the inside out and the outside in.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
why,
I think that's
speaking of Joe,
Yeah.
that's why he put out that decree basically to that people no more working at home. You know, he was basically like, you know, we need y'all basically in the office. We need the cities back. The cities back populated, basically like you said, so that they can, so that the economy can you know, stimulate. You know?
Yep.
As a footnote, you can apply that scripture too, you know, to the different, like the censorship that they put in, like on the internet and YouTube. Said through peace they should destroy many, because why? They censoring the videos and trying to silence this whistleblower, and basically people bringing out information on Biden, like how we doing. They doing it in the name of peace. Now, we're gonna censor the internet because we don't want any bullying, we don't want any misinfo getting out, which is really destroying the people.
Yeah.
You're leading them, you causing them to listen to all these damn lies, and you leading them astray, man.
Yep.
But you're doing it in the name of peace, in the name of
Yeah.
trying to, like you got the damn CEO of YouTube, you know, but she's a damn demon. But
Old hag.
Yeah, old hag. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna take away the YouTube dislikes. You know, like little stuff like that, man. But they do it in the name of peace, but it's really destroying the people. Because all it's gonna do is lead you to be misinformed, man, and led to believe lies.
Right.
Yeah, they really got AI inside of them, but they just operate in the flesh, man.
Yeah, yep.
Because Esau's the scripture says that he's a you know, man and not the Most High. Esau is just a fake. He's a subhuman.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been a lesser creature.
Yep.
But you said, John?
Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous, that's what you had, as a spirit. So like Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, and like the elder Barzal brought out that scripture dealing with you know, policy shall prosper and craft in his hand. Okay, well that comes through the decrees that goes on down in Capitol Hill. Okay, when they enforce, okay, these different legislations unto the public, okay, and they mandate, okay, you to follow these regulations, that is how they bring in unrighteousness. Okay, they had everybody walking around here, no jab, no job. Okay, now this shit is all out the window. Now everybody's focusing on Russia and Ukraine. To the point now, if you say Russia in the video, you might get flagged.
Right.
You got it.
Well, I just said in New York, open back up. But see, they had fired all the different medical workers and nurses, and they didn't give them no type of funding and just pay, and they can't even get compensated from that.
Right.
So what was the point of it?
So what was the point of the whole fucking thing?
What it was, the point of it is they're showing you how easily it is to dismantle democracy,
Control
your freedoms. You had no voice in this whole ordeal when the pandemic was going down. You didn't have a voice. You didn't have a choice. Okay? You didn't, all that my body, my choice, that shit went out the window. It showed you how easily democracy can be dismantled by promoting fear in the eye of the public. Everybody would be willing to compromise their quote unquote freedoms in order to feel safe. So now you had C-19 was a supervillain. And they was able to implement a structure under the guise of C-19. Now they have another supervillain in Russia. Now they can do whatever the hell they want to do and blame it on Russia. And your fear is what's going to cause you to actually move upon their agenda. Same shit that happened with Antiochus. Okay? So we're seeing right before our eyes the dismantling of democracy, man. If anybody thinks that you have freedom and the Bill of Rights is still, a lot of you people out here got a Bill of Rights demon on you. Let's just call it straight. A lot of you have a scrolled up Declaration of Independence demon on you. Okay?
With the feather with the ink.
Yeah, with a feather with the ink, with one of them big wigs.
The damn quail.
Yeah, yeah, with a little jar ink and a big wig with a candlestick. Okay, at the desk, you got that. That's a demon that's on a scrolled out Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights demon. You still feel like these same old freedoms that were written into law still hold weight today. Nigga, the founding fathers are back in the reincarnation dismantling that.
Right.
They're bringing in a NWO.
That's right.
Okay, that's what they're doing.
That
They're
was
bringing in an NWO.
See, and we understand that this devil works in steps. You know, Esau works up chains and commands, and they understand that how things have to process. Like during the time of Antiochus Epiphanes, he didn't have the ability to give everybody MOTV because there wasn't no MOTV.
Right.
That prophecy had to come to pass so that Esau would actually try to reach the apex or the pinnacle of his accomplishment, which is to rule over the souls of men, as it is written in Revelation 18. But we know these things to come or not because there's going to be a great deliverance, man.
Yeah, and that's how you know, to add to your brother's point, that's how you know that this is really a thing of the elites. This is something that they're pushing, just like they was pushing the VAX, and there was and basically how they coming up against Russia. That's all basically the elites, man.
And you know who's pushing it above the elites too? The Most High.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Isaiah 45:7. I'm gonna say like that.
That's right.
Because the Most High wants to push his, through the tempter, the spiritual demon Satan, to put us all into that time of testing, man.
Yeah.
The scripture says how the Lord shall try out all souls. It's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble.
That's
right.
The Lord has his own new world order.
Yeah.
And righteousness.
Yeah. You got it,
That's
though.
the catch-22.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Just back y'all up. This is Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord YAHAWASHI.
Oh, let's hold it right there. Who is seeking deep to hide their counsel? Why is not the current presidency and the administration, the cabinet, and the constituents of this American democracy telling people what's going on?
Right.
Why are they hiding it? Why are they disguising what they're trying to do? And anybody that has a working brain can see that they're actually hiding their agenda. But they're implementing at the same time that they're hiding. What they're doing doesn't match up with what they're saying.
Right.
Okay? Why are they seeking deep to hide this? Do they not have the betterment for the American people in their hearts? Absolutely not. But you Democrats think they do. You Democrats have given full authority and control to the government over your lives. And these Republicans are sitting back and they're hoping that somebody will step up and challenge what's going on, but nobody's doing it.
Right.
So eventually, the Republican Party and all, red states are eventually going to take matters into their own hands. Because if you have any form of a mental capacity, you will see exactly what they're doing. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
Yep, it says, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?
Hey, well, YAHAWASHI seeth the elite and what they're doing.
Right.
Which is why YAHAWASHI said, ye are the light of the world. Therefore, let your light shine before men. He's literally using the men to expose the plans of the international banking family.
That's right.
That's why we're able to see what you're doing and we're able to piece the puzzle together. Because hold on, Russia is a superpower. You've placed harder sanctions on smaller countries than Russia.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is a superpower that you're placing soft sanctions on them. These are not real. People hear the word sanctions and be like, yeah, we place sanctions on them. Don't even know what a sanction is.
Right.
Okay? But at the same time, the sanctions that you're implementing upon a superpower is not hurting them. That's like a
slap on the wrist.
that's like you fight Mike Tyson and you just throwing a little pop. That don't hurt him. That don't hurt Russia.
Yeah, pulling McDonald's ain't gonna hurt Russia. That's gonna help them.
Yeah.
You know, pulling Xbox out of Microsoft out of Russia is not gonna hurt them. That's what I said. That witchcraft.
Yeah.
Esau sees that witchcraft is not working on those other nations, so he's trying to pull and convert that back into the people. Because Esau only got, he has really one shot. That's what it really boils down to.
You know what he has a short time.
He knows that he has a short time, and he's trying to absorb and accumulate everything that he can so that he can reach that NWO.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's the ultimate goal. So you don't get too caught up into, all right, they're doing this, they're doing. No, what they're doing is they're trying to establish the MOTB, but they're seeking deep to hide that. Okay? They don't want you to know that the reason why gas prices is going high is to turn you away from gas and turn you towards AI.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know that Russia is raising up. Those hooks are being put in their jaw, okay, to raise up an assembly of great nations from the north to fight in World War III. So what they do is they paint the picture of what Russia is doing for you. Instead of the scriptures painting the picture for you. You have the idea that Ukraine will overcome. Because that's what you allow the secret council to tell you. Okay? You allowed the secret council to tell you about the C-19 pandemic.
Right.
You didn't allow the scripture to tell you about the C-19 pandemic. Okay? So they pulled the wool over your eyes. And they're going to continue to do so. Joe Biden comes out and makes brazen statements about his disdain for so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And you still put your trust in him. Donald Trump has never said the things that Joe Biden has said pertaining to so-called blacks.
Right.
But you still got your trust in Sleepy Joe because why? Because you allow the secret council to think for you. So that's why you draw these conclusions. Because you don't know how to be an independent thinker. And it's going to cause a lot of you to take the chip. A lot of you that took the jab will take the chip.
Yeah, scripture say that what the simple believe in every word, and they prudent man looketh well to prudent man looketh well to his going, the simple pass by and are punished. Right? And that's you people, man. Especially just go back to you Israelites, man. Because you're the main, pushers or supporters of the, these Democrats and these different presidents and whatnot. But you're finding out that they just been feeding you BS, man, and it's leading you further and further down a path of destruction.
Preset, unless you.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, this Isaiah 31:1.
Oh yes.
Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many. And like brothers was saying, they trust in Egypt. They trust in the shadow of Egypt. And that's gonna be your downfall, man, because. And going back to what we were saying about even at the time you Democrats was voting for Biden, you thought he was gonna be a relief to you. You thought he was gonna be, he was gonna turn things around. In the middle of the pandemic.
They were playing that fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, right. And all that stuff. So
that's why he called a bullet to the cranium. Yeah. And then it said what? It said that that scripture you read. They said they trust in chariots.
Right.
That's a symbolism basically for power. Chariots and power. So you trust in like Barzal quoted earlier. That might be in that same chapter. It said the Egyptians are men and not the Most High, and their horses flesh and not spirit. So you trusting in a carnal power, in a carnal system that's failing, man.
That's right.
And they follow the goats. Cause what? Not in today's times, everybody's the goat. All those guys, they didn't go to they're the Judas goats. Because what? You're sheep. You being sheeple and naive, you follow these Judas goats to your slaughter, man. If you look at actually how Judas goats do, they lead the pack. I'm gonna show the clip. I've seen it on TikTok, and they actually go to the slaughterhouse, and the Judas goat is in the front, and he'll go all the way to the front. Then he'll make a quick left, and then the sheep being all naive, they all go down the slaughterhouse. Doing his rounds, and all these different guys, these goats. Whether it's basketball or artistry, all these guys are leading you jakes down to the slaughter, man.
That's right.
Because Esau is not the good shepherd. Yeah, he's hurting the sheep, but towards towards death, man.
So that was it. And just like you said, like the leaders of this, the scriptures say the leaders of this people causing the air.
Yep.
So just like, because you know who's promoting the voting thing, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, your leaders, man. They was the one telling you to go out, Biden.
Yeah.
Especially black people.
Yeah.
Especially black people always trying to tell you to do something in this system.
Right.
You get your shot.
Oh.
You go vote. You make sure you go to school. Shut the. White people don't even push it harder. It's harder than black. Man, that's why you so-called Negroes, man. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians. You're very quiet right now.
Yeah.
All you're doing is putting jokes out there now.
Yeah, memes.
Memes and jokes and here we go, war with Ukraine.
This
Stop Ukraine. Stop the Ukrainian regime.
The draft.
No, so like stop the Russian regime. Stop Putin. Pray for Ukraine. This is all the rhetoric that you regurgitate. You don't look into these matters. You don't look into these events.
Right.
You don't look into politics. You don't look into geopolitical schematics. Okay? All you niggas do is wake up every day and open your Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Okay? And scroll up and down. You don't have an actual functioning brain. You think based upon public opinion.
Right.
Your thought pattern is based upon public opinion. Whatever the public deems right, that is what you go with. Because you do not want to be looked at as somebody that's against, quote unquote, the status quo.
Right.
So you for the world. That's why you're quiet. Because you don't know how to process what's happening on a global stage. So you're quiet. You make jokes, you play games, but meanwhile the Republicans are getting ready.
Yeah.
Because they can see what's going on. They ain't trying to keep talking and going back and forth and marching at the Capitol Hill with picket signs. Republicans don't do that. They go to Capitol Hill with their guns.
Yeah, they're ready.
You Democrats are the ones that go to Capitol Hills with your signs.
Yeah.
Because you don't have an actual functioning thought process of global schematics.
Right.
Which is why you're going to be taken.
Yeah.
And I got a quick precept. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12.
Oh yeah.
Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Yeah, man. Which is the people that you see dwelling on the earth. Hey, man, and you Edomites are about to be in for a rude awakening. You American Edomites. Okay? They're going to take it to you. Okay? You see how Russia taking it to Ukraine? That's the same people. Russians and Ukrainians are the same people.
Same.
Different borders. You don't think Americans will take it to you, Americans?
Yeah.
Just because you're American, you don't think they will take it to you?
America worse than Russia.
Man, America gonna bring it to you, American Edomites, man. Okay? It says, for the devil, now who was the devil? That old serpent, Esau. Okay? It says, it's come down unto you having great wrath. Okay? Now you may think, well, why does this devil have wrath? Why is he mad? Why is he coming down on us so hard? Because Esau knows that his time is short. He's mad because he don't have the amount of time that he wishes he had in order to properly set it up. So he's just going to go on a blitzkrieg.
And he knows that you people are big boy consumers too. You know, even when you watch Matrix, when Morpheus actually talked to the agent, he was basically giving him the pep talk of what really it was all about. He was like, man, people are like leeches in cancer, man. And he was like, our job is to kill off that cancer. They have the New World Order, you know, the NWO, you know. Well, and that's even part of Esau's NWO, censoring you, cancel culture, you know. But they have these different algorithms that work against us, you know, and it's set up to put us inside of his function. And he's trying to centralize everything to that MOTV, man, that microchip.
And they're going to take these same algorithms, and these algorithms are going to actually be found within the MOTB, and that's how they're going to actually censor any talk and communication that goes against their plan. Because these same algorithms are going to be transferred into that system. So you're literally going to be a robot to their society, to where, let's say you try to be a truther with a microchip, they just cut your shit off.
Yeah.
The algorithm will cut your shit off. So if you bow to this system, there is no anti-government. There is no regime, American. No, you're gonna literally be down with what they say you gotta be down with. And if you speak against it, the algorithms will dismember you. You seen that in the movie District 9.
Yeah, and the beast's brain is on that chip too. That's why it says, here is wisdom.
Yep.
You know, for the number of the beast is the number of a man, and it's 606.
Yep.
You know, which is 666.
Yeah, chasai stigma.
Chasai stigma. So that brain, when it's actually in you, your property, you can't break that brain. You have been branded. When you're branded, you have solely put your attachment and subscribe or written your life or your soul over unto that enterprise.
That's right, man.
That's the power that Esau want to get to. That's why I think that's what Isaiah 14. He said, "Well, I'll send it amongst the stars. I will be like the Most High." He wants that control over. Basically, Esau wants the souls of men. You know, as
he got a God complex.
He got a God complex, man. So he knew he wants to accomplish that through his artificial intelligence, man. But like the brothers went to. Just before he gets to that point, that's when the Most High gonna stop him.
Yep.
Because it's not prophecy for him to fully go with that, man. You know?
Yep. It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. And let's say, for instance, if you in a national championship game and you down, and you on defense, but you down on the scoreboard and time is ticking, what would you do? Blitz. You just sit in the house in hopes that somebody, stops. That the pressure will actually slow down the moment. Because right now, American citizens have way too much momentum through the internet. They're using these public platforms to bring awareness about the plans of the elite. So now they have to do a full-scale blitz. They got to blitz the public so that they can really move. So you won't know what the fuck they're doing because the media is not even going to be available to you.
It's gonna be a blackout.
It's going to be a blackout to the point to where you don't know what law is being passed. That's what they got to get back to.
Yeah.
Well, only those that was within that small vicinity knew what the fuck was going on, and the public people had to just abide by the laws that were placed. Niggas just roll up and throw a goddamn newspaper on your fucking front door, and that's how you figured it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, now you can cut on C-SPAN and sit right in the midst.
Right.
The public could sit right in the midst of these legislations being passed. Esau is gonna come down hard. He gonna put pressure. He gonna set up EMPs. He gonna set up cyber attacks. He gonna hack a lot of y'all accounts to the point to where they're gonna just be like, hey, Russia pretty much is hacking our grid. And the only way for us to protect this hacking is by, transitioning into this, because they don't have access to this universe.
Yeah.
They have access to the old world, but this is our own universe, and we can protect you and secure you from any type of cyber attacks or any type of identity theft. So that's what they have to do. They have to block everything out from this old world and implement a new system, which is the metaverse.
Yeah, this world played out. The fashion of this world faded away. Esau jumps worlds. Like a good movie is World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Esau will get into, look how he did Afghanistan. That's a world in itself, a whole culture shift. He'll go in there, destroy it. Look how he did Africa. He just destroyed and assimilated these different nations and put them to ruins and sucked and harvested their resources and put them in this enterprise of America.
Yes.
But see, he's not done with America. The end all be all is not him just ruling over America. It said that he want to sit basically upon the earth, man.
Yeah, that's his goal.
And he needs to get as much momentum. He wants to suck as much life. Because really, say for instance, outer space plans, if Esau can get there, he would get that at the expense of vanquishing majority of you people, man.
Yeah. Yep.
You see, that's their mentality. That's why you have movies like Elysium, where
District 9,
where they have basically a Valhalla or a utopia, and the dystopian reality is there on Earth.
2012.
2012. These different things ain't. It says art imitates life, man.
Yeah.
So these devils have that plan, and they're trying to push it to fruition as quick as possible, so that they don't actually basically time out. They know they got to shoot their shot.
Yeah,
And they actually successfully doing it. I can't say it. They moving. You know, they moving quick. You know, there's only 2 years into this particular presidential term, and we could say that initially when this guy first came to office, he passed 33 executive orders. That was more than any other president in the history of America within their first month or 2 months in office. I can't remember, but I know it was either a month or 2 months. That was a record. Second of all, he said he was going to forgive student loans, and then he reneged on that. Everybody got to still pay back their student loans. He said that, you know, he gave out, you know, certain stimuluses, and he said that he was going to continue to give out these stimuluses. He never gave them out. He never gave them back out. A lot of people didn't even get them.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of people lost their jobs. Okay, a lot of people lost their housing without any type of recompense due to a controlled pandemic. Okay, not to mention now oil, the gas prices is out the roof. And he's saying that there's nothing that he can do because they placed an embargo, not an embargo, but they placed sanctions on Russia because of what they're doing in Ukraine. So now we have to stop all oil trading between Russia when there's only 1% of trading that goes on between America and Russia when it comes to oil. So how is this causing gas prices to go this high when Russia is not a major consumer? Neither is America a major consumer of oil from each other. This is all set up to have to blame somebody. As now we got a villain. So let's say, all right, let's say people been out here around messing around with the house, you know, and people in the neighborhood know all the people been messing around with the house. So we got a super villain. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go over there and do it, and then just say, "Yo, niggas broke in your car again." But I'm the one doing it because I found out that we already got a common villain.
Right.
So now I can do something in the name of the villain and make everybody else think that the villain did it when I actually did it.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's how it works.
Yeah,
It's called controlled opposition.
Yeah, it also like graffiti in the block. Like if you have two gangs that's at war with each other, or say for instance 3, you could shoot up somebody. I seen this on the show. They shot up the dudes and then painted the other gang name.
That's basically what's going on.
So that's the same thing that's going on. You know, Esau is basically tagging. You know, and he's using these because he already used these other nations as hobgoblins. These different Taliban, Al Qaeda,
And he has a block on all Russian media.
Right.
I don't know if you brothers even seen it, but even Russia Today, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't been uploading in a few days. Somebody pull up RT and just look up their last upload. I know it had went. It was a it's like it's on the media, like Russia's on the media block in America.
Yeah.
You know, because they don't want the truth, they don't want the real to come out from the other source. So now that they block all these medias, which Russia's doing the same thing with America. They doing the same exact thing. They blocking all American media being fed through Russian platforms. So that way they can control the narrative.
And we've seen that time and time again. You know, that's why we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, because he uses false flags. You know, he uses a lot of false flags. So those false flags are always, like the brother said, they basically make it as if it's the enemy that's doing it, but it's a false flag. They create it. You know, that's why we always bring up the term order out of chaos. You know, because problem, reaction, solution, because they create the problem. They create the problem, and then they create the solution, which their solution in these instances is they want to establish their new world order. They want to go ahead and roll out this MOTB. They want to go out and roll out. Also, we didn't mention how Biden wants to authorize a U.S. U.S. Cryptocurrency.
Yeah, let's pull that article up real quick.
Kind.
Let's go into it.
Like this quick one with the Russia Today channel.
Yeah, oh yeah, bring it out.
And I just put the link in the chat. This is a social media giants to ban RT channel. And it says YouTube. We go to the description. YouTube, Meta, and TikTok have announced they would restrict access to Russian outlets RT and Sputnik in the EU.
Yeah.
So that's like you said, they're trying to limit that access. They don't want because they're trying to stay that narrative, man.
Yeah.
Eventually, it'll trickle down everywhere. Now you can't watch no work, you know.
Yeah, like why can't it be up to the public opinion?
And you know what's so heavy? That's how you know that the ultimate narrative is the narrative of the scriptures, because we don't try to block nobody from hearing what we're saying.
Yeah.
We want everybody to hear what we're saying,
Right.
because we have we're not trying to control the narrative. We have the narrative.
Yeah.
We have the narration of this story. So we want Russians to hear it. We want Americans to hear it. If Russia is doing something that lines up with biblical prophecy, we're going to say absolutely. That's in the Bible. If America's doing something that lines up with biblical prophecy, we'll say absolutely that lines up with biblical prophecy, because we have the narrative. We are the prophets of the Lord that's come back to give you the sense of what's happening in today's world. Okay? You have something, brother?
Yeah, and it's the prophecy is a measuring stick. And see, Esau has his measuring sticks. Matter of fact, I want to get that with the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators, because Esau has these different witches and sorcerers through his prognostications to actually show. That's why they have doomsday clocks.
Yeah.
Let me get it right. I think it's Isaiah 47 stargazer. But yeah, they have these different, which in today's time they call them what? Advisors. You know, they have a lot of advisors in their different administration, and they'll tell you wars on the horizon, you know, and things of that nature, and it puts everybody in a certain mindset, you know. And the times that we living in is showing that wars. Hey, they have. I think Henry Kissinger said, "If you don't hear the war drums beating, then you're deaf, man."
Yeah.
So we hear the war drums beating loud and clear. But this is Isaiah 47:12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries. Yeah, Esau worked sorcery through what predominantly we're talking about right now is the media. You know, the media has one major component, which is propaganda. Propaganda goes back to the Latin propagare, which is to spread throughout. You know, they always put a hobgoblin in your face, and they make them like they're the primary enemy, and they got to do whatever it takes in order to destabilize and destroy him. But see, Esau wants to work his web. You know, that's why the whole thing is what they have a frenzy upon Iran, because if Russia gets Ukraine back, they pretty much got their arm back.
Which they're going to get Ukraine.
Which they're gonna get Ukraine.
But the Bible says that they're going to get it.
Yeah. And that statement that you read, that verse you read, that's a mocking statement that YAHAWASHI is telling them. You know, saying, look, stand down, like basically like he's mocking them. Because essentially, really, the Lord got control over those demons.
Right.
They sit, they pray to, they sacrifice to, they sow to. You know, ultimately, YAHAWASHI got control over those demons. And the Lord is starting to pull them away, man. You know, that's why you doing this and doing that. Really, you know, it's all in control of YAHAWASHI, man. Those demons, those left hand spirits. They ain't really, messing with you like that no more, man. And you bugging out. You know, that's why the Lord is making that statement. He's mocking, mocking Esau in the elites. You know.
Yep. It says, "Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth." Yeah, from the inception of America, you had the Pilgrims and the Puritans, you know, which they were witches and warlocks.
Yeah.
You know, and they came with, that's why they set up all these different churches and religion. That was like the first style of their New World Order.
Put them in these different educational systems and reform them, you know, and then they put it, they was vanquishing the Native Americans, and then they put the Negroes here, and they put them on hardcore chattel slavery, which was another institution, man, you know, and they always built institution upon institution with the Senate. You know, like we was going into the industrial revolution when they started to put Jake in these different industries to work and bust their ass 9 to 9, 12, 13, 14. It was certain industries Jake worked 16 damn near hours a day, man.
Right.
You know, and they would get compensation, but they would live around the different plants and die off in these different projects, which was a part of Esau's system on the whole too. And now they're transitioning to what the major thing, which is the digital revolution, man. Where they're keeping everything in these different data banks, and they're eventually going to put these different things within your body to make sure you're synchronizing with the algorithm, man.
That's right. So this devil has a high advanced operation that he's trying to infiltrate, you know, right now into the people. Okay? But he's doing it subtly, but it ain't subtle enough because we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay? We see exactly what this guy is doing, which is why we wanted to entitle the video as such. Entitled, Sleepy Joe is dismantling democracy, but you Democrats are quiet. You Democrats are mighty quiet.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, mighty quiet. What is your president doing? You voted him into office. What is he doing? You were very critical of the former president, right? You was watching his every move, even to the point to where he got out of office. You were more happy that he got out of office than you were that this guy got voted into office.
Right.
You were so worried about him being removed from a position that you didn't even consider the man that you was putting in a position.
Right.
Okay? And this just goes to show you the level of, really, Democrats are the most docile of the American stock.
Yeah.
They're the most docile party because that's where you find the LGBTQ, majority of these thugs, gangsters,
Liberals. Yeah.
the majority of these tattoo artists, bis, tris, you know, anybody that has a level of quote unquote liberalism, and just want to just operate based off of emotions and feelings, you're a Democrat. Okay? And you're very quiet because why? Because real shit is happening in the world and you don't know how to process it because you're living in a fake reality.
Yeah.
Okay? But they're going to come at you. They're going to come for you. Okay? Just like he was coming for Republicans, for voting and standing for the legislation of DJT. They're going to come at you for voting and standing for the legislation of Sleepy Joe.
That's right.
The majority of you Democrats was the ones that was promoting and implementing the restrictions on the pandemic.
Exactly.
You know, Jack, get the shot, do this, do that. Wear a mask, 6 feet, man. You was causing a fucking ruckus.
Right.
Okay? Cause you was just stirring shit up with people, just fucking with people. Based upon their own rights. There was no laws implemented in America that actually said that you had to actually abide by these. These were nothing more recommendations.
Right.
But you was ready to fucking kill somebody over not having a mask on. What happened to the freedoms? You supposed to be liberal, a part of the liberal party, which the word liberal means free, but you was going against people's freedoms.
Right.
So this is gonna happen to you.
Yep.
They're going to infringe upon your freedoms. They're going to start coming into your neighborhoods. They're going to start taking from your fucking table. Okay? Let the liberals say no more, right? What's that in Isaiah 32?
Oh, with the churl?
Yeah, the churlish.
Oh, no,
the churlish shall not be.
The vile man shall be no more called liberal.
Yeah, the vile man shall be no more called liberal.
Yeah.
Okay? Liberals are, but see, the liberal party was a necessary party because under the liberalism, they were really able to implement this structure.
Yeah.
And they did the same fucking thing with slavery. They used the liberal party to implement the Industrial Revolution. And they did it under who? Abraham Lincoln.
Right. Yeah, and they use these men as well, man.
Right.
They're just predominantly puppets that's just over these different states, such as the United States. This is nothing more than the United States of America, you know. And there's people that Biden has to pay, a visit to, so to speak, or he has to pay it, check in to. But we understand the elites are the international bankers. Those are the movers and shakers.
Yeah,
And they're the ones who's going to push this NWO.
that's right.
Right.
Anybody have some precepts? We get some
finish
closing precepts.
Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
Hey, well, you know what? This is an enchantment in the media that's being pushed by America. All right, pertaining to Russia and Ukraine. This is all an enchantment to turn people against Russia, to make people think that Vladimir Putin is an actual supervillain. America is pushing an enchantment on you. That's why they had that State of the Union. Okay? That was an enchantment. Okay? So now the scripture says, stand now with thine enchantments. Okay? Meaning trust in it. Because why? We're going to see if these enchantments are actually going to benefit this particular kingdom.
Gonna hold his weight.
Is it going to hold its weight? So stand with your enchantment. Okay? Go ahead.
Yeah, and just to add one. Matter of fact, I'll finish up. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels.
You devils are tired right now. We know you tired. You're working in overtime because you got to go harder right now because you're being revealed. See, back when you ain't had the prophets on the scene to call out your every move, you was able to get away with layers of shit without being called out. But every little thing you do being called out at the drop of the dime, so you got to turn right back around and keep pushing more deception. So you're weary. It takes a lot to keep invoking these evil spirits.
Right.
Okay? But guess what? The spirit of YAHAWASHI ain't letting up. Okay? The Lord's, hey, you think you're doing a blitzkrieg? YAHAWASHI doing a spiritual blitzkrieg.
Right.
Yeah.
You under a spiritual blitz. Okay? And we blitzing through the spirit of the Lord. We blitzing hard, man. Go ahead, bro.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from the things that shall come upon thee.
Yeah, doomsday preppers. Okay? All you war generals and you people that have a high status in the control and the navigation of America, let them stand up and tell you what to do in these times. Okay? Because really, to be honest, the international bankers run the show. All right? The Council of 13 run this thing. All right? And they the ones that's actually going to drop the ball and going to cause this whole plan to topple over. It's going to fall right into the hands of YAHAWASHI and the elect. Okay? So prepare for a beautiful fall, man. Okay? Prepare to witness a beautiful fall. And understand that, hey, believe half of what you see. No, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Okay? The only thing you need to trust and believe in is the scriptures. Okay?
That's
you
right.
got it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You have nothing?
I had some.
Go ahead.
Job 20 and 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
Yeah. And that shows you how close this devil is going to get. And see, he's marching into this new world order. And, you know, but that's a prime example now. It's how he has the ability, like I said earlier, to just clamp you at any given time. And we seeing these big boy convoys driving through these different cities. In Atlanta, they show hell of military, MRAPs and things of that nature, military vehicles. You know, Esau has set the stage. We've seen these different robots and their capabilities, these darker dogs. You know, hell, they're even saying that Russia and Ukraine, they're using certain illegal weapons that's kind of going against crimes against humanity. So how much more Esau? Esau has those, Esau in America. You know, Esau has the same technology to clamp down on these Americans at any given time. They're just waiting for the right time to pop. Because if Russia's doing that, what? America's gonna have to meet Russia with the same forces coming with it. Because see, they're demanding these different nations to get down. They're using their muscle. And you telling me America's just gonna be on the back burner, just keep saying sanction this, sanction that.
Right.
It's gonna get to the point where you're gonna have to get direct, my man.
Yep.
And that's when it's the clashing or the
Clash of the Titans.
clashing of the Titans. But that was
Yes, well, I finished off. This is when Job 20:23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
Yeah. So YAHAWASHI is getting ready to bring this kingdom to naught. And before he do, you're going to start to see the deception of Edom being revealed on a public stage. Okay? Because remember, man, the Lord said, I will get thee fame and praise in all the lands where ye have been put to shame.
Right.
So the Lord is going to start to actually magnify the prophets, the true prophets, in the sight of the world. And many will come back into the truth, and many will hate us. Okay? But guess what? By doing so, it's actually going to bring them into a position of being destroyed and dismantled. Because everybody's going to hear this message. Okay? They shut down YouTube, the Lord going to one-up them.
Yep.
You're going to do something to one-up these people. Okay? So that the message can get out. Okay? Was it anymore?
Yeah, I read the last verse, verse 25. It is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him.
The nuclear missile, that's the end all be all. Okay? And before the missiles hit America, this place will be fully exposed and found naked.
That's right.
Then it's going to get burnt.
Yep.
Okay? It's going to be fully exposed. There's going to be no stone left unturned when it comes down to the witchcraft and democracy and the fucking demonism of this place. It's going to be revealed, and then it's going to be a great overthrow. And the revealing is going to come by the mouth of the Lord, which is who? The prophets.
That's right.
That's why the Lord has us speaking how we're speaking, because the Lord is revealing unto us through the Spirit the plans of these devils. We watching this man.
Right. Says, watch let us pray.
Yeah, we think, oh, oil prices going up down because of Russia. No, it ain't because of fucking Russia. They're using Russia as a fucking supervillain because Russia is making a very, very aggressive move dealing with World War III. So what did Esau say? You never let a good crisis go to waste. Let's use this crisis of Russia invading Ukraine. Let's publicize Russia as the villain. And then let's start to dismantle democracy in the name of Russia. So that we can now really start to set up our enterprise without letting them know that we're setting up the enterprise. We're going to just do it out of security measures. Okay? This is being revealed to us through the Spirit.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Oil prices, sanctions, all the things that you see happening on the global stage right now is being revealed to the prophets through the Spirit of YAHAWAH.
That's right.
So prepare to see more laws, legislations, executive orders that's going to further dismember this system. And it's going to put us in tight places. It's going to definitely put the world in tight places. But this is where we're going to see who is of the elect and who's not of the elect.
That's right.
Okay? You thought the C-19 pandemic was something. Well, wait till you feast your eyes upon what America's getting ready to do next. This thing is about to take a turn for the worse.
Yeah, boy.
When your resources is being affected and you can't get the necessities that you're used to getting, okay, on a daily basis, that's when we're going to see who's going to make the decision for YAHAWASHI or who's going to make the decision for the MOTB.
That's right.
It's going to get juicy, baby. Okay? So Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. We're going to go ahead and close it out. The water for you brothers and sisters for chiming in on the comment board and, sticking it out with us. I know, we was a little long-winded because we wanted to actually show, exactly what's happening, okay, and use the scriptures to back up what we're saying, okay, because that's exactly what's happening, okay. Don't think anything different, man. The only reason that Russia is being blasted in the media right now is to do what? Is to tell you that they are the villain and they're going to start to do all kind of terroristic acts. The same shit they did with Afghanistan. They found a villain and they capitalized on it. Okay? So now that Russia is the villain, you're going to start to see more things being done in the public eye under the name of Russia, but it's all going to be to implement the NWO. As Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. We're going to go ahead and close out, giving all praises, glory, and honor to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakadash. All right, double honors once more to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, many blessings to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.